fresh blankets and pillows for you as requested. Yes, it has been a long day, and I know how busy you've been. All that hard work. So, it's time for you to relax. And let me just help you sleep the way that I normally do. Of course, well, we definitely need to fix your bed. And we'll make you some tea. And I have a new salve to try tonight to see if that helps you. And we'll continue with our bedtime story from Hans. Okay, let me just set this up so you've got a little bit of light. I've turned down all of the gas lamps as well for you so that it's a little more ambient. There. How's that? Good. Okay. I'm just going to put the pot on the stove to heat up the water for your tea. Okay. Alright, it is rather unseasonably cold tonight for summertime. I know the terrible British weather. I believe or have heard that on the continent they have such wonderful heat that they can sleep outside. Well, we here are stuck with this cool, cold weather, especially up here in Scotland. Okay, I'm just going to undo this. I do love this one. It's been freshly washed just for you. Okay, I'm just going to pop this on top, like so. One cannot have too many blankets. And this knitted one, this really keeps in the heat. My favourite. We must tie the little bow. Here we are. And there you go. Right. How's that? Good, let me just fluff up your pillows, if I may. Is that okay? Yes. A bit more on that side. Come out here. How about that? Good. Alright. Now, of course, would you care for some tea? We could go for the lavender again that you tried last night, or would you prefer the chamomile today? Chamomile, not a problem. I did acquire some fresh chamomile from the market, as you requested. Of course. Have a sniff. It smells wonderfully sweet. I did. I bought the rather large squeeze a little in your sleep salve tonight. Well, you do work very, very hard, so it's understandable that you need a little bit of help to sleep. Your clever mind needs a little extra help to drift over into the land of dreams. Do you like those sounds? They are rather nice and just giving the pack a good mix. You can just get the aroma of chamomile in the air. It is wonderful. Okay, I'm just going to flavour the water on the stove. Okay. We will try 4 scoops today. A little more than last time to see if that works any better for you. Now, would you like it in your special china? There is your tankard if you want it. The china teacup, of course. Well, we must just let that brew for a moment. Here, let me just clean that out. I think we ought to give your hair just a little brush, okay? Praise. You can never have enough hair brushing, even if your hair is rather short. Hair brushing just feels so lovely. I love to also brush my hair. It's important to look after your hair before bed, so I have been told. Let us pour some tea for you. Oh, what a lovely honey gold color. There's more there in the pot. Here we are, your tea. Would you like me to sit it beside the candle so that you can drink it as and when you would like? Okay. There you are. Tea. Now for yourself. I heard the other housemaids were getting a little bit jealous. That I get to spend extra time with you in the evenings, but I told them not to be so daft. And certainly I can let them know if you would like another to attend you in the evenings. So, we have a number of herbs for yourself today. Now, the herbist did tell me I need to put lavender in, of course, but I have a special type of rose that's meant to help sleep. And these purple moonstone flowers are also important for sleep, according to West. So I'm going to pop these into yourself. We're going to mix, and then we're going to apply to your face, your head, and your neck, and your hands. And that should hopefully help you drift off, okay? So, we have our cream. What we must do is start with the lavender. Some rose. And some moonflower. It's a little more stubborn, I must pick it to the stream. Here we are. There. I hope you don't mind. I'm going to start applying to your face. We'll go across your forehead, like so. And then we're going to go down your cheeks and down your nose. Down your other side. And down your chin. Up the outside of your chin. help massage this in, okay? Lovely. Was it rather busy for you today at your work? Lots of people to see. Yes. I suppose many people do require an accountant. The household was rather quiet without your presence. There was not much going on. Just a lot of cleaning and preparing the chambers. Do you plan to have any guests over this coming weekend? I will let the housekeeper know. Oh, we do love when you put on splendid balls. I should hope that you would have another ball soon. I'm sure there are many young ladies who are eager to wear a ball gown and seek you as their husband. One cannot remain single for long in this time. Not an eligible bachelor like yourself. If you're not careful, you'll end up betrothed to Mrs. Potts' daughter. She's very insistent that her daughter has spent time here. All three of them. But we know they're not quite your type. Oh, do forgive me if I've spoken out of turn. I know you love the gossip just as much as we do. Here we are. Oh no, the eldest is by far the worst. She's rather awful to her maids, Mrs. Potts' daughters. So I've heard. Yes, our ladies' maids do get not so nice a treatment. And I believe they are desperate for you to take notice of the eldest, and if not the eldest, one of the others. The youngest is nice, so I'm told. But I'm sure that you are interested in others, perhaps people outside of this time. There we are. Okay, now we must wash off. Let me just get some water. This water is rather warm, okay? Hopefully not too warm, and that's just right. It's almost like a hot towel, a very steaming hot towel. There we are. close your eyes, and I'm just going to gently run this feather along your face. Okay, to make you feel sleepy. And then we'll do a little bedtime story. Okay. Good rest. Rotate through your forehead. Down your nose. Cheeks. Cheeks. Lips. Ears. Now, I was looking in your books and I found one. I will not read it all because it is in 7 parts. So this is The Snow Queen by Hans. It's all the rage just now, but he's written it in 7 parts. So we're going to read the first part, nice and short. And I'm going to make these sounds, because I know you like some sounds as well, okay? So the first story is Which Treats of a Mirror and of the Splinters. Now then, let us begin. When we are at the end of the story, we shall know more than we know now. But to begin. Once upon a time, there was a wicked sprite. Indeed, he was the most mischievous of all sprites. One day he was in a very good humor, for he had made a mirror with the power of causing all that was good and beautiful, when it was reflected therein, to look poor and mean. But that which was good for nothing and looked ugly was shown magnified and increased in ugliness. In this mirror, the most beautiful landscapes looked like boiled spinach, and the best persons were turned into frights, or appeared to stand on their heads, their faces so distorted that they were not to be recognized. And if anyone had a mole, you might be sure that it would be magnified and spread over both nose and mouth. That's glorious fun, said the sprite. If a good thought passed through a man's mind, then a grin was seen in the mirror, and the sprite laughed heartily at his clever discovery. All the little sprites who went to his school, for he kept a sprite school, told each other that a miracle had happened, and that now only, as they thought, it would be possible to see how the world really looked. They ran about with the mirror, and at last there was not a land or a person who was not represented distorted in the mirror. Some of these pieces were hardly so large as a grain of sand, and they flew about in the wide world. And when they got into people's eyes, there they had stayed. And then people saw everything perverted, or only had an eye for that which was evil. This happened because the very smallest bit had the same power which the whole mirror had possessed. Some persons even got a splinter in their heart, and then it made one shudder, for their heart became like a lump of ice. Some of the broken pieces were so large that they were used for window panes, through which one could not see one's friends. Other pieces were put into spectacles, and that was a sad affair, when people put on their glasses to see well and rightly. Then the wicked sprite laughed till he almost choked, for all this tickled his fancy. The fine splinters still flew about in the air, and now we shall hear what happened next. So that is part 1 of the Snow Queen, and I will read to you the rest of those parts in future times when I help you to fall asleep. But I can see that you are very, very sleepy. Closing your eyes, just close your eyes, that's it. That's it. You cuddle on in there, and I will leave you to let you get some rest. If there's anything else you need, you let me know. The bell is right beside you